Hey there, boaters. I'm Captain Stacey Hanrahan, and welcome to Friday's episode of The Boaters TV. First up, our captain's caption photo was provided by Christopher Harold. We'll reveal the caption of the day at the end of the show. Next up in smooth sailing, the spectator sport of anchoring in our blue water sailing segment. Boaters are people watchers, and some of the best people watching can be found in your favorite anchorage. This month, Blue Water Sailing's Suzanne Giesman talks about the spectator sport of anchoring with couples as the entertainment. No one can resist watching the anchoring antics between husband and wife. As Suzanne simply states, the problem is that the anchor is at the bow and the helm is not. Especially on larger boats, it's impossible to talk back and forth in a conversational tone when dropping or pulling up anchor. Raised voices easily travel across the water, so everyone in the anchorage hears you yelling at each other. Of course, there are other options for communication. Suzanne and her husband Ty, for a long time, used the same technique as Rob and I use: hand signals. For example, one finger up, pointing in the direction to maneuver, meant come ahead easy, or the throat cut sign meant anchor set, kill the engine. You and your spouse can choose any gestures you'd like, but we don't suggest any that involve the middle finger. Suzanne and Ty have gone to high-tech anchoring. Instead of hand signals, they now use a set of radio headsets, appropriately known as marriage savers. The throat cut sign has been replaced with a pleasant-voiced, "That ought to do it. How about a glass of wine?" So it seems we can't rely on Suzanne and her hubby for anchoring entertainment, but for a good laugh, you should read Suzanne's entire article on anchoring for couples at www.bwsailing.com. Now it's time for our Boat Test Reports feature of the week, where we'll take a look at the 245 cruiser from Bayliner.
I'm Captain Rob Smith with BoatTEST.com on board the brand new 245 cruiser from Bayliner. This cruiser has an integrated swim platform with swim ladder tucked underneath. The engine hatch is a manual lift on twin pneumatic assist rods. While we have the Mercruiser 5-liter MPI 260 horsepower engine installed, you can opt for up to 300 horsepower 350 mag MPI Bravo 3. Stepping over to the port side, you enter into the spacious cockpit. Here you can appreciate one of the key features of the 245, the room in the cockpit. With the 245 cruiser, you have a lot more room for electronics, and this is something you don't normally see on an entry-level cruiser. You have a wide space for a flat panel display. Inside, you'll find about 6 feet 2 inches of overhead room in the center of the cabin. This is very good for a pocket cruiser. The lounger up front has a nice oval table, and you can comfortably seat 4 adults. This area converts into a V-berth if you want to spend the night on the hook or anchor in a quiet cove. You can see how Bayliner brings so much light inside with these frameless windows and large cabin hatch overhead. You have all the basic galley equipment you need: compact refrigerator, microwave, and sink to prepare simple meals. This head has an integral shower and sink. This new model measures 24 feet 4 inches length overall with a beam of 8 feet 6 inches. She weighs about 3,973 pounds with the standard 260 horsepower 5-liter MPI Mercruiser with Bravo 3 stern drive. Her fuel capacity is 70 gallons and her freshwater capacity measures 20 gallons. I tested the new 245 cruiser with a light load of only 2 people and 3/4 tank of fuel. She was up on plane in 6.7 seconds, keeping the horizon in view with only 12 degrees of bow rise. She had a 0 to 30 mile per hour time of 14.6 seconds. The 245 had a comfortable cruise speed of 24.1 miles per hour at 3,500 RPM for a 90% tank range of 140 miles. I found she could reach a top speed of 35.8 miles per hour at 4,800 RPM.
Thanks to Boat Test for that report. To see more of the Bayliner 245 cruiser, you can cruise on over to Boat Test website at www.BoatTEST.com. Next up in Nautical Know-How, the conclusion of our Hurricane Boat Preparation Series. Today we conclude our hurricane series with things you should do once the storm passes. The sooner you can get to your boat, the better, to prevent further damage and to protect it from theft. BoatU.S warns us that a marina can be a dangerous place after a storm. Exposed electrical lines may be laying around. There might be leaking fuel and sewage backups, even missing sections of the dock. So don't bring the whole family with you to take a look. Don't be surprised if marina management restricts access to your boat. They're doing it for your safety. There are some items you should take with you on that first visit after the storm. You'll need a pencil and paper to inventory any damage, a lot of cleaning supplies, trash bags, gloves, and bug spray. Oh, and duct tape. Don't forget the duct tape. If your boat has been damaged, of course you want to call your insurance company right away. At first glance, your boat may appear undamaged, but be sure to take a close look. Pay attention to the water level in the bilge for possible hull damage. Make sure bilge pumps are working. Replace chafed lines. For sunk or beached boats in need of salvage, BoatU.S recommends asking your insurance company for advice. You don't want to make a rush decision and hire an inexperienced or overpriced salver. The BoatU.S Hurricane Resource Center is packed full of information to help you prepare your boat for a storm. The site even includes up-to-date information on active hurricanes with tracking models and NOAA forecast. So check it all out at www.BoatUS.com/hurricanes. Be prepared and stay safe. Remember, there's little point in keeping your boat safe if you don't keep yourself safe. I hope you found our little hurricane series helpful. And now it's time to reveal Stacey's TheBoaters.com Sealebrity profile pick of the day, which is Douglas Jordan and his 34-foot Bristol Ibis. Douglas is a freelance writer living in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. He's been boating for 40 years. A longtime power boater who recently got into sailing and wants to do some serious cruising. Welcome to the Boaters and congrats on your Sealebrity status. And finally today, the captain's caption of the day is, "At least something in the boat is as big as promised." Submitted by Sabin. And that'll do it for this episode of the Boaters TV. See you back here on Monday.